Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Chainlink. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous Chainlink update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, let's jump straight into the TA. So, taking a look at the daily chart, we still have the same Fibonacci retracement on the chart. Now, if you don't know how to use the Fibonacci retracements, make sure to check out the description. There's going to be a video where I explain how to do that precisely, how to use the Fibonacci retracement, as it is a very important part of my technical analysis. So we have the swing low printed all the way back here in May of 2021 at $54. And we have the swing low over here in December of 2020. Now, our technical target is all the way down here at $2.50. I'm not sure if we're going to get there in this bear market. I don't think we're going to do that. I think the lowest we'd go if we saw a flash crash potentially would be $3.68, which is the 1.414, but we haven't even retested the 1.272. We wicked towards it, but we haven't really retested it. And a retest of that 1.272 would be very good because, as you can see, the yellow trend line that is right on top of the 1.272 is where we actually got rejected multiple times. As you can see in this zone, we had multiple run-ins in this area, and we had a lot of resistance touches. And then we broke out in July of 2020, and since then, we haven't seen these low prices. And now we came back down here, and I was really expecting us to retest that $5 region, and then we could start coming up. But that hasn't happened yet. So obviously, you can have your buy limit orders ready and set to go. We could still see a flash crash. Any black swan events are still on the cards or on the table, and you never know what's going to happen. So you have to be ready for both outcomes. Now, what we did have here is this channel up pattern, as you can see, and we broke down from this channel up pattern, and we retested it as resistance once, and we are retesting it as resistance once again with a lower high, and potentially we're going to see another move to the downside here. So hopefully with this move to the downside, we're going to be able to hold some sort of a support level here without actually dropping below this local low that we printed in December of last year of 2022. What could also happen is we might come back down and do something like this, where you're going to have an inverse head and shoulders pattern with a breakout target to somewhere, to probably $10, $11, which is going to be pretty good. But we're getting a pretty strong impulsive move to the upside here, so we do need to see some sort of a pullback because, as you all know, the higher you go without any sort of retracements, you are going to see a pretty strong pullback. So I really want to see a healthy retest of the 20 EMA on the daily chart. I think that's going to be fair. So if you want to enter Chainlink, I think this is still very cheap for Chainlink. So off of the 20 EMA here, $6.80, I think that's a pretty good entry. Obviously, from these lows here at $5.40, that was the best entry, but a lot of people were scared and they weren't buying at that point. And so far, we're up 38%, and we're running into the resistance of the channel up pattern. So I do think we're going to see a pullback here. I'm going to be honest with you. Bitcoin is very overextended, so I'm simply waiting for a pullback with my cash on the sidelines. And if you want to set up the buy limit orders all the way down to the 1.272, that's still something that's still very smart. And so far, Chainlink, if you zoom out and you take a look at this whole structure here, right? You take a look at all of this, you're basically in this sideways channel since May. And I think that once you get out of this range, once you start breaking out, I think you're going to see a very, very strong move to the upside because this accumulation phase has been going on for a very long time. And once you see the breakout, I think it's going to be glorious. So make sure you don't sell too early, because if you see these strong candles coming up, I wouldn't be taking profits necessarily, because we can just continue pumping. And I think things are going to be looking very good towards the end of 2023, and 2024, 2025 is when our bull market mode is going to be back on. So Let's hope we can all stay with our crypto until that point and not do anything stupid where we manage to sell at a very, very unfavorable point. So jumping into the daily RSI, let's see what's going on here. So zooming out, as you can see, we did have a very nice retest here at the end of December of this yellow support trend line that I gave you. And we retested that yellow support trend line multiple times. And every time we had a move below it or off of it, we saw a move to the upside. So this was no different. So this was a very good entry point. We ran into the white trend line. We're almost into the white trend line. We wicked above it here into the overbought just slightly. And now we're pulling back down. So I would say this white trend line here, this diagonal white trend line, is going to be a very important level for us to hold as support if you want to continue this uptrend. So I would say, as you can see, you have one touch in May, one touch in September last year, one touch in November, then a fake out and a move to the upside. So I think that we need to hold this as support, and that would be a great entry point for you. But like I said, if you see any flash crashes and the RSI does something like this here, just like we did here in August of 2022, where you have that massive pullback, that's going to be your best buying opportunity. And let me tell you something, if we see a flash crash within the next couple of months, that is going to be the last flash crash before the bull market. I can almost guarantee it, because that's typically where they shake out pretty much everyone that's left with mildly weak hands. They're going to sell, and from there, they can start the bull market just like they did in March of 2020, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's something that could happen as well. So I'm ready for both outcomes. I have enough Chainlink for now, but if we go below $5 again, I would be buying a lot of tokens at that point. So let's jump into the Binance website real quick. And before we continue, I quickly want to ask you, do you value your privacy? If the answer is yes, then you must take a look at ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN offers you the privacy that you deserve, no activity logs and no connection logs. Your internet provider won't be able to access anything, and anyone using the same open free Wi-Fi in the cafe as you won't be able to do any harm or breach your security. You can use the ExpressVPN application on any device. You can connect it to your PlayStation, or you can even connect it to your router so that anyone who connects is automatically secured. Or if you're looking to access any region-blocked content on your streaming platform, well, ExpressVPN can do that as well. If you're living in the Netherlands and you want to access a TV show that's only available in Japan, well, my friend, you can do that with ExpressVPN. You can use the link down below in the description and get a discounted price along with 3 extra months for free. You can get your money back if you don't like it, but I don't see any reason why you wouldn't like it, because we all need the privacy, and in today's age especially. And you can also pay with Bitcoin, so that's a really cool feature as well. And let's get on with the video. So taking a look at the weekly here, as you can see, we have a support block, $6.22.5 all the way to $5.34.5. This is our support block. Every time we enter that support block, we have a move to the upside. Ever since May, that's been happening. Ever since May last year, I mean. And let me just extend this. As you can see, we're trying to break above this red resistance trend line, and that's exactly what we're doing here. If we manage to close the candle above, that's going to be pretty good. If we manage to hold the 20 EMA as support, that's going to be great. But like I said, we need to see Bitcoin break the August high, and we need to see a healthy pullback, because the longer we go without a correction, without a healthy correction, the more likely it is that we're going to see a pretty strong pullback. So we have to be ready for that. But this is looking good for Chainlink, as we're getting some nice volume coming in the past 3 weeks. We're getting an EMA squeeze on the MACD, so things are pointing towards a move to the upside. However, like I said, we need to see a healthy retest. So currently with the RSI, let's see what's going on here. We saw a pretty nice pullback at the end of December, almost getting to the green support trend line we talked about. We're above the resistance block that we had ever since March of 2022, so we're above that. That is pretty good. Now, what we need to do is we need to hold either the support block, or we need to hold this light blue support trend line, okay? That's something that we need to do. And those would be great entries for Chainlink, for anyone looking to enter Chainlink. And if we continue with this move to the upside, you can look at the 53 on the index as a sell point, since that is where we ran into resistance in January of 2022. So that's a resistance level we could be targeting if we continue with this uptrend, but I don't think it's going to be sustainable, because as you can see, every time you have this massive move on the weekly, you typically see a pullback. Another massive move on the weekly, you see a pullback. Massive move on the weekly, you see a pullback. Another massive move on the weekly, you see a pullback. So every time you have this strong move to the upside, you see a pullback. So that is what I'm expecting here, and I'm waiting on the sideline with my money and hoping to buy into my altcoins. That is pretty much everything that I wanted to cover in this video. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to see you in the next one. Feel free to check out my Patreon. There's going to be a free 7-day trial, so you can go ahead and check out all the content that I've been posting there ever since October 2021. And if you like it, you can stay. If not, then let me know what you didn't like specifically, because I do have a lot of low cap gems in there, and I just posted another low cap gem post, and you have my portfolio in there. So yeah, let me know, and that's gonna be it. Thank you all. Take care. Goodbye.